Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? So, this is my first clip ready for my year 9s coming at you from the glorious sunshine of my own back garden. And as you can see on the floor here, I've created my very own brechts boxing ring outside-inside box to teach you today's new concept, which is all about making the strange seem familiar. So in our books, nice and clear, making the strange seem familiar is the title of our new concept, and you can see today my headband is all about making the strange seem familiar as well. So just to recap, we're talking about those little bumps in the road, the idea of flying on a plane and having that turbulence, and every time there's a bump, every time there's a moment of turbulence, it's all about the audience, the spectator, reminding themselves that they're purely watching a piece of theatre. And this is a really kind of hard concept to get our heads around. And that's why I'm not only uploading this video for you to watch, but also I'm uploading a piece by the National Theatre, which will look at the Caucasian chalk circle, outlining this same concept that they use for their production of not only Caucasian chalk circle, but for Mother Courage as well. So for those geeks among us, you may wish to kind of pause this and have a little look at the synopsis of Caucasian chalk circle, which is in your books. We did that previously last term. And then secondly, the synopsis for Mother Courage. You might want to just write down a little overview of those plays, so that when you look at these ideas on the clip that I'll put on afterwards on this link, that you understand. But here's my way of explaining this concept. So what happens is you've got two things happening at the same time to allow the audience to remind themselves that this is purely a play that they're watching. It brings them back into the present and keeps them active and engaged. And the best way I could describe it for you is, for me, being inside my makeshift box here, performing, and I am a character. The audience look at me as a character. It's clear that I'm a character, and for example, I'm inside the box and it's raining and I'm reacting to that rain. So inside the box as an actor, reacting to the environment that's being created. Now outside the box, in our production here, and I'll be outside of my box and use my little wonderful yellow spade. What we have here is we have generally another actor at this moment using a microphone and making the sound effects for what's happening inside. So the actor inside the box is reacting like it's raining, and the actor outside the box is making the effects, the sound effects. Another company that does really clearly is Splendid Theatre Company, Kerry Frampton, in her production of Wojciech. And what she has is, she has an actor in the middle who's being kind of like, is having a fight with another character, and then outside the box you've got different actors with different instruments making the sound effects for what's happening inside the box. Okay, so we'll just kind of recap at the moment. You've got the actor inside acting, and you've got the actors outside making the effects. On the production you'll see that I'm going to put on the clip for Mother Courage, you've got the actor stood inside the box, and it's during a war. And what you've got outside of the box is you've got the actors making the sound effects of like bombshells, crashing, gunfight, etc. And it's a really great way to remind the audience, oh, this is merely a play. Those effects are strange, but they've become really familiar. We look at this way of visualizing the work, and it becomes really normalized. The actor inside the box can't see the people on the outside of the box, so they're very separate worlds. These worlds are divided by the actors on stage, but the audience see it really clear. The people on the outside remind them that this strange thing is familiar. This is another bump in the road to keep them engaged and to keep the actor as a spectator, ultimately. Okay, so I'm just going to recap what I mean by making the strange seem familiar. You've got an actor inside the box acting, there's a sound effect, it's raining, it's messy, it's chaotic. It might be that they're fried inside the box, then someone outside the box is making a sound effect either through musical instruments, through the sound of their voice, or through speaking, etc. And that's just a little way of explaining this bump in the road, this idea of strange and familiar. And on the clip that I show you, I keep pointing over there because that's where my laptop is. On the clip that I'll show you, it will give a really good visual example. So what your job is going to do is, first of all, is to have a little look at the synopsis. So first thing you're going to do, title, strange, making the strange seem familiar. Number 2 just have a look at the synopsis of the Caucasian Chalk Circle that's in your book, have a little recap, and then secondly, Mother Courage, because that's going to help you with the clip. Number 3, have a look at the YouTube clip that I'm going to send you, and the clip will, again, it's roughly about 3 minutes, and in that 3 minutes it will outline and explain this idea in their production. And then the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is to turn to our Medea script, and it's basically on page number 9. So page number 9 in our Medea script, and I can even just put that there if you've lost your script, and you can have a little pause there. And at this moment it's where you have Medea directly addressing the audience in a calm, reasonable tone, and her speech ends with a question. It's a big monologue in this section. I'm asking you to read it and then to outline in this moment how you would use the technique of making the strange seem familiar. Could you use a moment where Medea is inside the box and then you've got your actors outside the box, either making sound effects of what's happening to her at that moment, or instruments, sounds, and explaining to me what those sounds are. What I don't really want is I don't want narration. I don't want the actors outside narrating, because as we've done lots of work on narration, that's a different skill technique. This is more, for this example, is about the actors making them sounds themselves. They can be making sound effects of rain, like, or they could be whispering if it's like an ethereal kind of ghostly atmosphere. But what I don't want is I don't want narration. I don't want like Medea walks in, she steps in. We've done lots of narration. This is our new concept, making the strange seem familiar. So that's the last thing I'm asking you to do. Read page 9, scene 3, Medea pleads her case. Write down an example of making the strange seem familiar in that moment, and then email it over, jones@heels.plymouth.sch.uk. Upload it by next Friday, please. Next Friday onto class charts, and then I'll send you some direct feedback. The work you've been sending over has been fab so far, so keep that up, and have a great day, and I'll speak to you later. Over and out.